I think it would be great to start off with just the comment that I believe with all my heart God created music, and music is beautiful. Music is a blessing when it's rightly employed. And I believe there's a devil out there that wants to pervert it because he's left nothing untouched. He wants to do everything he can to take us away from our Creator and break that connection with God. In fact, that's why our seminar is called the Distraction Dilemma. To distract us away from God, that creates a dilemma for the Christian.
Right.
And so when God spoke in Genesis 1, in verse 1, it says, and God said, in the beginning, God said, God sounded, he made frequency. He used frequencies to create. Vibrations to create. Okay? And he said, let there be light. And there was light. And then he said, let there be everything else. And we're talking inorganic material, all these type of things. He said, let there be, I don't know if he sang it, probably. I love that idea. And he said all of this stuff, and he made vibrations, frequencies, and the inorganic material stood fast and did what he said. What's amazing is this, what you alluded to, Dr. Hans Jenny, a Swiss physician, he took inorganic substances himself. And this was many, many years ago, back in 30s and 40s. And he would aim frequency, just frequency alone, at inorganic substances on a tympanic membrane, like a stretched layer of plastic. It wasn't plastic back then, but drums and that type of thing, right. Skins or whatever. And he would aim the frequency at it, and certain frequencies made the most beautiful patterns. They were obeying, they were symmetrical, because whenever the sound, the frequencies were pure, it made these gorgeous patterns. Whenever it was discordant, or actually discordant would be the best way to put it, it created these chaotic patterns. And some of these patterns resembled starfish and human cells and very intricate in detail, as our viewers will see on the screen. Absolutely beautiful. That's just powders and rice and grains being vibrated, and it makes all these gorgeous patterns.
Just like snowflakes.
Yeah, in fact.
Some of them look like snowflakes.
In later years, a research scientist found, his name is Dr. Masaru Emoto, he found that when you aim pure tones, or as he called it, beautiful music, and like Tchaikovsky and Mozart and different things like that, he tested all these different songs and music, and when you aim it at a cylinder of water and freeze it while the music or the beautiful tones, the pure tones are being aimed at it, it created these gorgeous crystalline structures that look like snowflakes.
Really?
So intricate, total structure. So when something is pure, when something is beautiful, and it has melody, harmony, beautiful rhythm, it creates symmetry. And so they also found when you pump music at it or discordant tones at that water and freeze it, you got this blob and mess. There was no structure. So what science has found now is the human organism is made largely almost 70 to 90% of what?
Water.
Water.
Especially your brain.
Exactly. Your brain is in a liquid capsule.
Exactly.
And it's suspended in liquid. And so here we have a liquid form. And we're bombarding ourselves with either discordant, angry music. They said angry even. In fact, they played Elvis's Heartbreak Hotel, and it was a mess. Then they played heavy music, heavy metal at it. It was a mess. So listen here. If we're pumping that music at ourselves or in ourselves, we're going to create a mess in our physiology.
Exactly.
It's incredible. However, conversely, the opposite is true. If we're saturating our mind with beautiful, harmonious, melodious music with beautiful rhythmic structure, we can reinforce our cells. We can reinforce the state of the water, if you will, the liquids in our bodies. But it goes much deeper than this. What they found is discordant tones and or driving beats, syncopated beats, and what you would find in typical rock music. And if you're listening to music and it makes you want to kind of start doing this, what we call the neck check, You know,
Right.
if all of a sudden you want to start grooving and start moving like this, well, everybody likes doing that, but that should be the first warning. Warning, warning. There's something going on here. In fact, what happens is the typical rock beat is anapestic, and it goes against the typical and the natural rhythms of the body, including the heart. There have been scientific studies that have shown there have been runners that dropped dead as they were running due to the music that they were listening to. This is not an urban legend. We've researched this out. They've had coronary problems because the beats were working against the rhythms of the body. That's significant. That has tremendous ramifications for our health.
Is that well known in sports areas?
In fact, what they've found in some sports arenas now, there's a whole new thing right now where in competitive sports that they are outlawing certain kinds of music because they see it as a performance enhancing thing. It still has detrimental effects, but it's a performance enhancing thing, and here's why. When you're listening to the wrong kinds of beats and the wrong kinds of anapestic beats and break beats and back beats and what they're called, and syncopation, it causes the brain hemispheres to get into a state of anxiety and stress one with the other. The body doesn't like stress. The body likes harmony. The body and the mind like peace. So what it does is it releases opioids. It releases other chemicals and endorphins. So you can get an endorphin hit listening to this music and your performance goes up.
Sure, I can hit a home run.
You better believe it. And so they're saying, wait a second, this is not fair. And so even, I heard, I haven't confirmed this, so please don't take this one to the bank. I've heard that even in the Olympics, they're looking at this strongly right now. And there is talk that they're looking at the music and saying, we need to consider this. The music,
It's interesting.
a performance-enhancing drug.
You mean I have to give my gold medal back because I was listening to the wrong music?
I hope not. But the reality is you can assist yourself because you get that endorphin hit.
Right.
But you also hinder yourself because you'll get an opiate hit. Because your body will manufacture a chemical that's called an opioid. And what it will do is the brain's going, and it's in a state of agitation. And then you get that the brain goes, okay, we're in stress here. We're being assaulted. And it says, no, we don't want this. And so it releases that chemical, release the hounds, and all of a sudden, and literally you get this, it's like morphine.